Part 1: The Lonely Rancher. Welcome to my YouTube channel Timeless Tales. The land stretched far and wide, golden fields swaying under the touch of the late afternoon wind. Beyond those fields, the sky opened like a canvas of endless blue, slowly fading into shades of orange as the sun began its descent. Somewhere in the middle of that vast emptiness stood a ranch, strong wooden fences, cattle grazing lazily, and a house built with sturdy hands. It was the home of Samuel Hayes. To most people in town, Samuel was known as the rancher who spoke little and smiled even less. He had built his life with hard work, sweat, and grit. At 45, he owned more land than most men dreamed of. He had horses, cattle, workers who respected his authority, and barns filled with hay stacked high. By all accounts, Samuel was a successful man. But behind the strong fences and the wide front porch, he carried something the land could not heal. An emptiness so deep that even time had failed to fill it. Years ago, Samuel had been different. He had loved once, truly loved, and dreamed of building a family. But fate was cruel. His wife passed away before they could start the life they had planned together. The pain of that loss had cut through him like a knife. He buried himself in work, day after day, until his ranch became his only companion. Neighbors sometimes tried to reach out. They invited him for dinners, church gatherings, even holidays. But Samuel would shake his head, mutter a polite, "No, thank you," and retreat back to the silence of his home. Over time, people stopped asking. He became the man of the ranch, present, hardworking, but distant. The truth was simple. Samuel had become heartless not by choice, but by survival. A chance meeting. One crisp autumn evening, Samuel rode back from the market road. The air was sharp with the smell of fallen leaves. His horse's steady hooves crunched against the gravel as he neared the ranch gate. That was when he saw them. A woman stood just outside the fence, her dress faded from wear, her shawl wrapped tightly around her shoulders. Beside her, a little girl clutched her hand. The child's cheeks were pale from exhaustion, her small shoes dusty from the road. The woman lifted her eyes as Samuel approached. There was no boldness in her look, only quiet desperation. "Sir," she began, her voice trembling, "I'm sorry to trouble you. We've been walking since morning. My daughter is weak, and we just need a place to rest. Just for tonight." Samuel's hand tightened on the reins. His first instinct was caution. Strangers were rare out here, and he had spent years guarding his solitude. But then his eyes fell on the little girl. She could not have been older than 7. Her wide brown eyes mirrored something he recognized too well: loss, hunger, and the ache of being unwanted. He cleared his throat. "What's your name?" "My name is Clara," the woman said softly. "And this is my daughter, Emily." Samuel looked at them for a long moment. Something inside him shifted, though he could not name it. At last, he spoke. "Come inside. There's food, and a fire." The first night, the ranch house, long used to silence, came alive that night. Clara sat at the wooden table, grateful, while Emily leaned eagerly forward, asking Samuel questions with childlike curiosity. "Do you have horses?" "Yes." "Do they run fast?" "They can." "Do you ride every day?" "Most days." Samuel's answers were short, clipped, but the sound of a child's voice echoing through his home did something strange to him. It stirred memories he had buried under years of silence. Clara offered to cook, her hands moving with practiced grace as she prepared a simple meal from Samuel's pantry. Samuel watched quietly, noticing how she carefully set aside the first portion for her daughter before serving herself. When Emily finally drifted to sleep by the fire, Clara turned to Samuel. "Thank you. We had nowhere else to go tonight." Samuel nodded stiffly. "It's fine. You can stay, just for the night." But deep down, he already knew it would not be just one night. Days turned into weeks. The next morning, Samuel expected them to leave. Yet when he came back from feeding the cattle, he found Clara sweeping the porch, and Emily scattering feed for the chickens. Clara stood, brushing a loose strand of hair from her face. "I thought we should repay your kindness. If you'll allow us, we can help with the chores." Samuel wanted to argue, but something in her steady tone stopped him. He shrugged. "Do what you like." And so it began. Clara cooked meals, cleaned the house, and helped in the garden. Emily followed Samuel like a shadow, asking endless questions about horses, cows, and the tools in the barn. At first, Samuel found it unsettling. But slowly, almost without realizing, he began to expect their presence. The ranch no longer felt like an empty shell. It felt alive. The problem beneath the surface. Still, Samuel fought with himself. He told his heart this was temporary. They would leave eventually, and the silence would return. Better not to grow attached. Better not to feel again. But feelings have a way of creeping in quietly. One evening, after a long day of work, Samuel walked into the kitchen and saw Clara humming softly as she kneaded dough. Emily sat nearby, her laughter ringing out like bells as she told her mother a story. For the first time in years, Samuel felt something stir inside him, a longing. He stepped back, shook his head, and retreated before they noticed. "Don't be a fool," he muttered under his breath. "You're better off alone." But no matter how hard he tried, he could not silence the truth. The widow and her child had already entered his world, and with them came something he thought was lost forever: hope. Thanks for watching. Seeing the next part of this story. Thanks a lot.